by it every day on Roadside.
Stan here for Fishing Historic Places, and we're taking a look at the back cove on the north end of Otis Reservoir where the major stream enters, and we can see ice out there that is got to be close to 3, maybe 4 inches thick. Now remember, this is a back cove, but it's also at the north end of the lake, and if you know about lakes, the north end of a lake or pond in the northern hemisphere is getting the full light of the sun all day, every day, and is typically the warmest part of a lake. So here we are swinging around, avoiding a squirrel, that would have been a pity, and we're looking down at the actual north end of the lake, not just a cove. And yes, we can see ice is in this cove, although it gets quite a bit of wind on a southerly flow. And I'm telling you, with temperatures predicted to go down into the 20s, low 20s up here, for the next several nights in a row, it won't be long before people are ice fishing the Berkshires. And that means Fishing Historic Places will be out and about. Granville State Forest on the border of Connecticut. And we come to a particularly interesting little roadside monument. Now there are several of these. And you can see that this is a monument to Milo B., son of Harlow and Mary, who died October 18th, 1854 at 11. And he was found dead right in the road where my truck's parked right now, apparently having fallen off a wagon that he was riding in and probably suffering a broken neck. You see these kind of things, you're reminded of the modern roadside monuments, also monuments to tragedies where auto accidents happen. You think about our monuments, there are piles of teddy bears, roses, flowers, just strewn, sometimes notes. Well, tragedy was not absent from the 19th, 18th, 17th centuries here in America, except for the permanence of the markers is a little different. We don't see these being put up today, although you do see roadside crosses now and then. Usually they're made of wood. This is a marble stone to Milo, and we remember him. Just a little boy. The thing about elevation is elevation creates entirely different microclimates. So here we are 800 feet above sea level, and you'll notice that, geez, we had an ice storm yesterday and snow 2 days before, and it's all held on. It's all stuck to the ground. There's Littleville over there. And if we get to the top of this hill here, we're going to be locked in the dead of winter. It's a pretty amazing thing, actually. So when you're home and you're thinking you know what the situation's like up on the mountainside based on what kind of weather you're getting at home, you really don't. You really are missing it. There's a lot of days when it snows up on the mountains and you get rain. Or when it's cold enough to be wearing a sweater or jacket in the middle of the summer. And we're looking out here at Twining Pond in the High Berks. And I'm talking about 1,500 feet above sea level. Down in the valley right now, and it's December 23rd, the ice hasn't even formed on most bodies of water. But here, if we take a look, we can see into the ice bubbles that are apparently going down 3, maybe even 4 inches. And that says to me, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh yeah. Notice there's not even any cracking. Notice the bubbles. You can see the bubbles going way down into the ice. I'm going out here and I'm going to do a little test hole, because I'm thinking that we are in at least 5 inches of ice right now. Now, some snow fell the other night, and that snow definitely pushed the ice down, got soaked, and now we're looking at this. Look at those bubbles. These bubbles are thick. They're down deep. Okay, it's a very weedy bay here. I don't feel like ice fishing here. But I'm going to do a quick drill. How much are we looking at? I saw a crack right there. 3. This is not really thick, I'll tell you that. It might need another couple of I don't know. I'd fish it. This is Lower Speck Pond. Now, there's been a lot of rain. That's another issue. A lot of these lakes, you know, they've got a dam, and you can see Upper Speck has come up. You can see the original ice, and then you've got some open water. Well, it's not open water, but it's very thin ice, and I can top right through it. Now, that ice there, that's probably what we had over at Twining Pond. That's probably 2-3 inches thick. I'm looking at the crack right there and I can see it. And I wonder if that ice out further is a little thicker or a little thinner. This right here looks like it might need a few days, but it's getting ready. You can also see when you look out on the ice, you see the circle over here. See that circle? And then there's another one over here, and there's another one over there, and that's an area that iced up last. So you have to be careful when you're fishing early ice about fishing those areas. You make sure you spud your way out. I always bring a screwdriver. Screwdrivers are good to have. You can snap it through ice pretty easily. Again, we're on Upper Speck. We were just on Lower Speck Pond, and Upper Speck's got the same kind of situation. You can see that the water has come up a little bit. It looks like there was some overfreeze here, but it looks like it's probably 3 inches here. It's a little higher than Lower Speck, so it's probably got a little bit more ice. Not appreciable though. Now we're going to go up and check out a couple of High Berkshire Lakes. These are the Berkshire Lakes, right? Upper Speck is great. But again, like Twining, like Lower Speck, it's a bass, pickerel lake. I don't even think either of these or any of these gets trout in it. So you're basically going out for panfish, maybe bass, maybe pickerel. Probably target pickerel. You could theoretically target anything you wanted in here. Like
so as you can see, green water down at the bottom of the valley has very little ice. Just a skim up here in the northern cove beyond the shoal. Now I'm going to go up a road just up here beyond the slow sign, and I'm going to go up to the top of October Mountain where there's a couple nice ponds, and I'm going to promise you that when I get there we're going to have ice to see. I'm going up a pretty steep hill and have been for maybe a mile. And this road is bringing me up to the top of the October Mountain Range, part of the Berkshires, but October Mountain State Forest is here. And as I reach the crest, you can see there's a lot of snow on the ground up here. It wasn't all freezing rain up here, and the snow that we had the night before really stayed on the ground. And right up the road a piece, we're going to come to two ponds side by side. They are on the left or north, Buckley Denton, and on the right. So if you're wondering about the effect of elevation, here you have it. You can see that this pond is pretty much completely iced over, and I believe we're going to have more ice on this pond than we did at Twining. So walking down on the lake here, Yeah, you can see that just like the other lakes, the water has come up. You can see that. But yeah, we got some ice here, and I'm standing on it. It's not the best ice in the world right there near shore, but there's a beaver house. You can see the moving water right there. Mr. Beaver. So I'm not ice fishing here. You can see probably iced up only maybe a week ago. You can see the slush line right there where the cove iced up first. Let's go over to Buckley and check out Buckley. So what do we know about Buckley, Denton? We know there's guys ice fishing it right now. I went out and I investigated beyond that slush line, and there's 4 inches of ice there. So we'll be out here tomorrow. Devin is going to take the sinker. He's going to put the sinker on the hook. So you can see, it's got that spring on it that holds it, stops it from falling off, right? So when he releases the spring, the hook is, the weight isn't going to fall off. Now just throw it in the hole and we can do a quick measurement, right? So there's a button here, right? So we're going to go, oh, that was cool. So I got a knot right here. I'm going to disregard the button and I'm just going to spool it up to the knot. So we know we're on the bottom. We know that we want the shiner to be maybe 6 inches off the bottom. So we're going to put this in the water. It's going to come down. I guess I'll use the button. So I'll show you how to use the button. You take the button and you basically slide the button up the line, right? So we're going to leave the button right about there, which means that when this ice fishing tip-up is in the water, the shiner is going to be about 6 inches up. So we reel it up, stop it, and I'm going to show you how the wind set. Okay, so the wind is coming from that direction. You want the wind to blow the flag into the spigot. See, when a fish pulls this, it's not going to do anything. We want to go the other side here. Make sure we check that one. So we're going to go like this. Yeah. So when a fish hits the shiner, it's just going to pull the tip up, right? So let me have a shiner, and we're going to hook them up. And one way I can tell if a guy knows what he's doing ice fishing, there's different kinds. Give me a small one. There's different kinds. There's ways of hooking the shiner. Just net them. Just give me one in the net. That's fine. So Devin's got a shiner. He's going to give me a shiner. His little fingers can work. They're working. And that's too big. I got a real small hook, Dev.
But they're mostly big ones.
There's one. All right. So we're going to take that and we're going to put the hook. There's the dorsal fin, right? Dorsal fin's right there. I like to come in front of the dorsal fin and just barely into the flesh of the back. That's a fatty, meaty part of the shiner. Now, he's not going to die. He's going to swim if he's been kept in good shape. He's just going to go down there and swim around. And remember that most fish, if they have a chance, will always attack a shiner from the head, right? Oh, this is dangerous. We got to be careful we don't do this. We got to be careful we don't set it so it doesn't go off. Okay, so there we go. So now it's set. Oh, it's deep here, within reason. Okay. Quickly set the button. See, we want it to be, yeah, look at that. So we're like, I'll bring it up a little bit because the bottom feels mushy. When you feel the mush, sometimes that's weeds, and it's a good idea to bring it up a little bit. Okay. Okay. Pull it up. I'll pull it up.
really not that deep. See how we're probably talking 7 feet of water. Oh, this is a hog of a hook right here. Big shiner too. Okay. Okay, we set that. Pull it to make sure it goes off. It did. Good. Set it. See, when I set it, Jake, I turn it so that the wind is blowing the flag back into the trap. So we have a type up. Now I just set this. So, oh, somebody's on it. Walk carefully. Pablo, get over here. Come on.
Is it carefully?
Carefully, quietly. Oh, gingerly. Oh, yeah.
So how do you like reel that? Do you just pull it up?
Now what you do is you watch. Come here. So you watch the spool. You can see the line is going off to the side.
Yep.
So that means the fish has got it. And what they want to do a lot of times is reposition the bait in their mouth.
Okay.
We don't know what kind of fish it is. A lot of times, like a pickerel will just grab and it'll scream. Bass do that sometimes too, but sometimes both of those fish will just sit there. So now I'm bringing it up. I'm going to take a little bit of line off. Okay? So now you get down on the ice. On your knee, right away from the direction the fish is running. So the fish is going that way. It's a circle hook, so I think it is. No.
Ooh.
Snake.
Oh boy.
Let Peter hold it up.
It's your fish. Barely.
Okay, you pick it up.
Hold on. I get my glove on. All right, little fish.
I do it without the glove.
Don't worry about it.
But
That's fine. Oh man. I want to see the bite. All right, little buddy, good.